Hi, I'm Gitte, Laasby, reporter with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. The week after Addie's exhumation, forensic investigators started their search for answers about her death. According to the legend, Addie was shot or poisoned by arsenic by her husband, Enoch Fargo. But finding out whether either of those explanations are true after 110 years was quite a challenge, even with modern science.
Oh, right there.
There you go.
Look at that.
All right, I'm holding this together
Yeah.
more tightly. And it's just like a jigsaw puzzle. It's exactly like it. You know, you match up the matching sides on either side of the suture or break.
When it just clicks right in.
Like this.
Wow. That's why he's a PhD.
That's why Mr. Jigsaw. Well, let's see. This should fit into here somewhere.
Hi, Rose.
Hi,
Are you ready for the news?
I'm ready.
Well, let's see. We've reconstructed the skull. We've laid out all the bones and we've examined them all as best we can, and there doesn't seem to be any evidence of foul play in what we've collected.
All right.
Huh, okay.
We did talk some about that hole in the skull, but I'm convinced that that's post-mortem artifact, and I think Dr. Annapol and I both observed during the exhumation a lot of root intrusion. We also talked about the frost heave, and either one of those things post-mortem could have produced that opening. The portions of orbital plate that we observed were intact, and for the most part, with a gunshot wound to the head, you're more likely than not to get fractures of that bone. Because it wasn't fractured, I would say that's pretty convincing negative evidence that there was no gunshot injury. It certainly doesn't mean that she couldn't have been shot. It just means that we have no evidence based on the material we have to examine.
Right, okay. And I understand you're not able to test for the arsenic?
Right. The problem is, since you have arsenic in the groundwater and arsenic in the soil, to try to differentiate that from arsenic that was put into the skeletal system would be impossible to do.
Okay.
You know, with the distance of both time and post-mortem change, we lose a lot of what we could do in terms of examining a more recent death. It also shows you there are limitations to the science. I mean, there are some things that maybe look good on CSI and maybe make for good television, but realistically, they aren't doable.
It'd be swell if it had a tidy ending, but sometimes life doesn't have a tidy ending.
I think most of the time, life doesn't have a tidy ending.
Since Peterson and Annapol concluded their investigation, Thornton has decided to push forward on her own. She's trying to find more documents and says she's still convinced Addie was murdered. Addie's remains have been cremated and will once again be buried in Lake Mills.